everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for stopping in today. I always appreciate your presence, and welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection reading. Today we are going to be working with the featured sign of Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius, so much to say, so little time. And you're highlighted, which is what I do. It's the spiritually guided one that's picked right in front of you, and it means that I read 3 additional major category messages through the beautiful tarot of the day, and I actually switch them off like twice in the month. These are the mid-month readings. Today is February 24th, 2021, and I wanted to put a special loving shout out to a brother of mine I lost 4 years ago today to suicide. So it's something you work through, right? For those that are watching and may have experienced this or know people, and it's something you never necessarily, most of the time, not always, you never necessarily know it'll ever occur in your life, and yet it does. And there's a lot of people that are sharing these kind of emotions, and I just wanted to share with you that, yeah, I'm one of you. And if you ever want to comment, if you haven't subscribed and you're interested after the reading, I do readings. I'm a tarot reader of many years. I'm a psychic intuitive that has also been super interested in the compatibility between people and the love connections we have of all different types. That's it in a nutshell. It is my passion and I love it. And yeah, great amount of love for my brother. He was a world-renowned close-up magician, prestidigitationist. It's hard to say. But he's on YouTube, Daryl, the magician's magician. So you may have heard this before, those that have been following me. But yeah, it's really something, and there's a great amount of love that still is very much present with me and my brother, and I just want to say that. So today is Aquarius, the highlighted connection for Aquarius today that Spirit would like us to read for especially. Well, it went right on you in past, Aquarius. You got a lot of energy going out there, and there's been a lot. Ever since the new moon in your sign on February 11th, you had 6 planets in your sign, Aquarius. Oh my gosh, now a few of them have moved out. And we're no longer in your season, we're in Pisces season. And it's Pisces. Okay, it works for me. It works really well for me because you two work together. You're very different, but you're right next to each other. So there's that. No, you're not. I mean, yeah, you are. On one side is Aries. I'm sorry, I apologize. One side of Pisces is Aries. That's the first sign of the Zodiac. That's coming up. Your season's coming up at the end of March. And you represent the season of spring and the new year, basically, in astrology. It's all about March and onward. And the other side of Pisces is you, Aquarius. So we have the first sign on the right and the 11th, because Pisces is the 12th. So interestingly enough, we're in Pisces season. So there's that resonance right off the bat. And also, what can I add to the mix? We have the moon that went into Leo today, which is really kind of beautiful because that's your polar opposite, Aquarius. That's always a part of you in its own right. It's a magnetizing kind of energy that's there. It's the 6th astrology sign, you know, across from you. So every one of us have a polar opposite sign to us. And many times I see many connections and relationships that are the opposite because they fully complement each other in a very different way, right? So Aquarius, I'm going to shorten the descriptions because I do tend to go on quite a bit, and I've done them quite often. You can always look back. But you're an air sign, and this is going to be a predominance of air. They're calling it the era instead of era because it's basically new after many centuries, 800 years basically. That was a predominance in Earth. Now it's not to say there weren't planets going into air and such throughout that time. Of course there were, it's constantly moving, but the predominance was Earth, and now it's going to be air. Certainly this year, and then moving forward into Gemini and Libra, which are the fellow air signs. So it's really the mind. It's when you think of air signs, it's mind, it's information, it's knowledge, it's connection through speaking and thinking and writing and all sorts of mediums. Aquarius is known as the humanitarian sign, and they represent symbolically on the tarot card the star, which is about our dreams, our wishes, and there is a person, no specific gender necessarily, holding a jug, and I thought it was water for the longest time. I thought they were a water barrier, so to speak, but that jug is filled and pouring out into the world, into, you know, life as knowledge and power. There's power in knowledge, right? So it's really been beautiful, even for me as a fellow air sign, and it will affect, obviously this year will affect other air signs very comparably and harmoniously, which is beautiful to know. Also, we had the Mercury retrograde in your sign, Aquarius, and that did end. And we're still going through the dust, as I like to say. It ended on, what, the 20th, last Saturday. So, you know, today's the 24th. It's still gaining momentum and kind of cobwebs and all the confusion in conversations, which is what you rule, basically, right? The mind and the thought, you know, that transfers into communicating and teaching and learning, for heaven's sakes, expanding our minds. That was affected, and it certainly was for me. And now all the little pieces are going to be put back together for you. So that's beautiful. Overall, though, I think this month, or last month, and until we went into Pisces, which happened on February 18th, so it's still pretty new, you have had, this has been your time, and it will be your time. You have Jupiter in your sign, you have Saturn there, they'll be throughout the year. It'll change for a little bit into Pisces and then go back into your sign until December. So it's a very, very positive, prominent time for you, and it helps all of us because we can feel better about how we're expressing ourselves in our relationships, no matter what they are. And that's always a really important thing. Last year I felt like we all just basically were relying on that. We were getting a taste of it with the Zooms and everything and the homeschooling and such that came about. Well, that's going to be predominantly more used and more, as I said, the new norm. And that's beautiful because Uranus is the ruling planet of you, Aquarius. Uranus is all about science and technology. They rule that. So new information, new ideas, you know, surprises, fabulous things. What are we talking about? Mars more now? I mean, these are just examples. And this is what's happening in our universe right now in the planetary, you know, alignments and energies. And so it's really been our map from the time we were born, and you can always look up your own individual chart. But I love it because it's not always fun and games when it comes to what needs to be learned while we're in this body, our spiritual being in our bodies, but it's so always about evolving and growing and learning. And so when you look at it in that light, which is about the mind and how we think and how we perceive, right? It really kind of puts a whole new slant on it, and it just feels better. And changeable too, you know. Though you're a fixed sign, Aquarius, you are ruled, like I said, by Uranus, so there's a lot of changes that happen in your lifetime. You're just kind of used to that. Some are known and some aren't, and some are phenomenal, and they just transform everything. And others, you know, are just like, I wouldn't have picked that, but okay, well, let's see what that means further down the line, because you may be extremely grateful for the way the universe works for you in retrospect, right? So I like that a lot, and most of my readings this month, to be honest, have been phenomenal, and I'm hoping that'll be the case, of course. If you don't feel the resonance right away, give it a little bit of time, or come back and, you know, or review, you know, the beginning of the month, I should say. This is the mid-month, so I did the all around the zodiac from Aries to Pisces for the beginning, and now we're at the end, and tomorrow is the last one I'll read for, because Pisces will be the featured, and then Pisces will have a highlight. After that, I'll do bonuses, and that'll just be completely random for both signs. So, you know what? You and Pisces, you have a good vibe together. Now, Pisces is water. What's interesting is there's such a difference in the whole energy aspect, because water is the heart and the emotions, and trust me, you will not meet a more sensitive, caring, nurturing, kind-hearted person and spirit than you will with the Pisces, okay? Sometimes it's just like they're so spiritual and they're just so interested in just the flow of life and letting things be easy and the energy being right, because they pick up on energy very, very well, and it's kind of a burden at times, you know. They have to make sure they have time to kind of recharge and they don't take on too much. There's a lot of empaths that are Pisces. You know, they're the sign of the two fish. They're a mutable sign, very adaptable, very much let's go with the flow, like I said. Very, very intelligent and creative, though. One of their main claim to fame is their artistry and their ability to be so creative. So when the two of you get together, Aquarius, with your mind and their heart, it's such a beautiful blend. There's no stopping what creativity and what amazing entrepreneurial kind of endeavors you two could put together. Now, there's just this loving aspect where, you know, they say that air signs are detached emotionally, and it's only meaning that, what it really means is that we are ones that think through our minds, that we don't want to get led astray or distracted from our emotions. We know how to compartmentalize is what's really happening. We're extremely emotional, and I know many Aquarians, and they absolutely are. They just know when to allow that in, and then when they have the time or they're alone or whatever, it's just like it all comes out. Okay, so it's there. And this Pisces relationship only adds to that love and just reminds Aquarians how important it is to have that feeling and to drop down into our hearts, you know, because the heart is it is the most intelligent organ. It's extremely intuitive, and that's what the gift is with this Pisces too. And they can really work with you, you know. You're the more logical and strategizing kind of energy, right? Which is important. You need that for your work, for your daily life. But you love art, you love life, you love, you know, socializing, you love people, you love different cultures, you love expressing in ways, you know, in an artistic way around your home, and, you know, just utilizing that gift. Excuse me. But like I said, this is just a beautiful blend. Now, Pisces is actually ruled by, more modernly, by Neptune. And Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is one of those outer planets. It's slower, but it does affect us. And it takes a lot longer to get around the Earth. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Neptune will be in Pisces till like 2026, as well as Uranus will be in Taurus. So, you know, they're slow moving, but they do affect us. Neptune is all about the underworld, the mysterious, the things you can't see. Sometimes on the shadowy side, excuse me, it's about the kind of deceptive, you know, things that you're not, like, it's not as it seems. It may appear one way, but it really truly isn't. And that's interesting because Pisceans are known for being chameleons and being very adaptable, like I said, as a mutable sign. And they're really good at acting and, you know, playing different roles. That comes easy for them. You can see them with a group of friends being one way, and then you're with someone else or you, and they're an entirely different way, and you're like, whoa, I never saw that side of you. Well, there's a few sides. So they always keep you, you know, interested. It's never really boring. But there is that sensitivity that you need to understand and love and appreciate about them. So yeah, this can be an amazing, helpful, and caring relationship. And it runs deep, you know, the feelings run deep. And there's just a lot of compassion involved. So let me read the three major categories specifically for this highlighted connection. And then I go on if you're interested in the three oracles, which means that it's for every single Aquarius, these messages from the oracle divinations, and every single connection of theirs. The highlighted one is one that's needing to be said for some reason. Spirit wants you to know specifically. There may be a good percentage of you that have this relationship, so you know what I'm speaking of. And let me know if you choose to do so. I always respond to your messages and comments. So the first one, like I said, overall energy for this beautiful sign of Aquarius and the highlighted of Pisces. And you have the, whoops, it was upside down, 9 of Wands. Okay, makes perfect sense. I don't know, I'm telling you seriously, every retrograde I write everything down because it's so interesting. And it usually is around the same themes of communication, misunderstandings. Rescheduling is done a lot. I have a private practice. It opened up again. So there's a lot of changing and such with that, which you just need to be flexible. Transportation, movable things, anything that Mercury tends to operate, and usually is pretty fast moving. It appears to be slowing down in retrograde, but it isn't actually. It's just the way that the energy definitely slows down. Let's just put it that way. And so, you know, that affects plans and things like that, and it puts a damper and it slows things down, which can be nerve-wracking at times. So basically the 9 of Wands is just this fiery ambition to want to get things done, and we got the moon in Leo, so that's the fire you're feeling, if anything, today, right? And that's coming right through here. the Leo's ruled by the sun. Sun is our vitality, our ego, all of our desires, our spirit and passion. Great passion. And once again, the polar opposite of you, Aquarius, so that's interesting. But you see the sun right there, representing probably out of the wands the Leo aspect, because it's also Sagittarius and Aries. But what I'm trying to say is you've got to hang on, boy. That 9 is a completion. So when you get to the 10 of wands, it's all about just like new cycle, brand new beginning. You know, you've worked hard, you've thought hard, you've allowed your body to get over exhausted at times. You got to be very careful. You want to hydrate, all the things that are important to keep you going, right? Because that's the ultimate goal, is to be healthy enough to make these changes and make it happen. So hang in there is the message. Everything will be fine. We just have to trust, and we have to just give it a little more time, because generally the shadowy period after Mercury retrograde is a good 10 days or so. So let's just say that certainly by the 10th, things are going to just be completely different. And you're like, whoa, thankfully. And then, you know, the next retrograde isn't until May, so we'll discuss it then, but and it'll be in a different sign. Another air sign though. But here's the thing. You got this. You are incredible. You are very capable. You are strong, and you're powerful, and you're courageous. And so don't give up. That's all. You know, and if that Pisces is like, oh, and by the way, Pisces are very, very capable. Very, very strong, even though they come off as fragile, and they are, and very impressionable in all the things that they represent. They're very capable, very smart, and very good with business, you know, so they tend to have their own so that they can rule themselves, and they don't have to worry about that extra energy of people maybe getting along or not. That's not something that they want to involve themselves in if they can possibly help it. So I know many that have their own businesses. So hang in there together. Just be in your powerhouse energies together and staying strong. Just this one last lap, if you will. So that's good. I like that for you. It's not nothing. So it just says, yeah, you've got what it takes. You've definitely got what it takes. Patience is a virtue, right? And you may also be very much connected, the two of you in some way, and in a family way, whatever it is, with work or business, with a fire sign, or you yourself have it in your chart, so you're feeling that energy. And it's connecting with the sun, or excuse me, the moon today. So let's see what the next card. The next one is always the category of possible blessings or obstacles. And today, the two of you have the Queen of Cups. Woo! There you go, Pisces. Isn't that something? So this deck is actually the Queen of Tarot deck. And I love it because the queens in the Tarot are very mature and very, very capable, depending on what element they are, is simply what part of their life and how their life is ruled, whether it's through the mind, the heart, their spiritual, you know, physicality, or the earth, where they're grounded and very practical and, you know, set and that sort of thing. But the queens are the intuitive. They are the feminine qualities in all of us. And that's an important thing when you want to not only set your sights and have that power, you want to feel with everything you are and be in touch with your intuition and your higher power, which is always in coordination and co-creation with life and spirit. But the Cups is you, Pisces. You are in your sun season, and I pray you're having good birthdays. Happy birthday to every one of you. And I pray that you're feeling fulfilled. This is a card that looks to me like, I'm just sitting here and I'm feeling good, and I'm just like being me, and this is what I do, and I just want to be at one with the universe, and I want to feel that comfort and that knowing that I create my life at all times. And I think that's what's going on. So there's love here. There's a lot of love here when it comes to the Cups, and a lot of creativity and love for what you create, basically, right? That's part of the whole love connection. Is it what you're doing in your life that's making you feel incredibly fulfilled, I hope? Or ideas that are making that happen in addition to a specific someone or some ones that matter significantly? Well, I call that a blessing. I don't think it's an obstacle, unless you're not actually giving yourself that time you need to really listen. Because when we have the retrogrades, that's exactly what it's for, to rest, retreat, review, relax. You can't push forward too much. You can try. I know I did. And it usually is without much success. For now that it's stationed forward, it's like, I'm ready. Let's make this happen. And the final category is the one of finances, because that is an essential energy that we all think about a lot and need and require for our comforts and our, our security and so forth, and the tangible aspects we can see, right? Materialistic things, we all love it. Why not? When you work hard, why would you not want to just celebrate yourself and say, I want that picture, or I want this, or whatever it is. I want to eat here, I want to do that. Of course you need to do that. And that's absolutely a part of the law of attraction too. The give and take, even for yourself. If you're only giving, you're not going to really get that full benefit of the law of attraction and the manifestation end of it. There are some key components to the law. Your finances card is, what is this now? Oh, the Three of Swords. Okay, so this is about, first of all, past, because it's already, the swords have already submerged themselves in the heart. And as I said, I would say that Pisces is probably the most heart-centered sign, to be honest. I mean, they are so much about love and want to just have everybody loving, and there just be a peaceful, kumbaya kind of situation for everybody. It's a rose-colored Pollyannish kind of look, I know, but they still thrive on it, because why not? And the more people that think that, it could possibly happen. Yes, I'm one of those people. Why not? I want to go on the positive side always. But here's the thing about the Three of Swords. There's been a hurt. There's been a deep hurt, a loss. It's involved another person other than maybe this connection. It could be a family. It could be a good friend. And I'm going to be honest too. I mean, I mentioned my brother today. Memories are hard to let go of. We can rebuild our heart, and we can grow and understand and allow love and forgiveness and all those things in. And so it's important that that happened, because last year a lot of us lost a lot of people, and that's something that cannot be overlooked. And my heart goes out to you, because it's important and it matters, and the connection is always going to be there, just in a different form. So this could very well have affected your finances, or certainly your comforts and the way you felt more at ease and at peace. But it did happen, and it's something that you're still working on, and everybody works at their own time in that way. And just know that it is about, it's so perfect. The Pisces season is about healing, and then with this full moon in Virgo, which is your polar opposite Pisces, on Saturday, it is one of the most healing possible moons you can get. It only happens once a year. This is the time. Issues, circumstances, past hurts, disruption of whatever kind, like we had last year, right? It can be healed with your true desire and wish for that to occur. It can absolutely happen. So I'm going to wish that for you too. I send out healing energy as a Reiki master practitioner every day in my meditations, just as distant healing, to see the world perfect, whole, and complete, and that's generally the way you want to wish for things and send that loving and healing energy. So yeah, just know you've got this, and you've got, actually the three could be a third party in a positive way when it comes to this, where if there was a loss, there's other people that want to help and want to be there for you, like you always are. The two of you, you're very caring people. You're a very caring sign and element, where you just want to work and be leaders and show, that how people can improve their lives and have it be fair and just, and recognizing the diversity and accepting that, which is something I think we're continually working on, right? So I like it a lot, and the Three of Swords is a part of our life, and these readings have been phenomenal. So I'm hoping it's just something that you, even if it could be you were feeling bad because you were physically not well, and it could be that simple too. And you're just like, ugh, that was a bad cold. I need to get back on top of that. Drink a little more fluids and like vitamin C and whatnot. Not a doctor, but I like that idea for me. So yeah, you've got this. You've got that emotion. You've got that drive. You've got that power. And you've got the beautiful elements of the planets working for you. Because outside of this Mercury retrograde, for March and most of April, prior to the shadow period of the eclipses in May, you have a lot of forward-moving action with the planets. Nothing will be in retrograde. That's when things get done, you know, the wishes come through. So you hang in there. And I'm going to read now the oracle messages for every single beautiful Aquarius and every one of your connections, whatever they may be, for a love connection. And I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle, which I love, by MaryAnne Reed. And it's basically just a word and a beautiful picture, illustration, and then I read from the book. So the thing that Spirit needs to know for you, especially right now and the rest of the month, beautiful Aquarius, is orphaned. What? Interesting. Well, it kind of holds true to this, doesn't it? Something was lost. You feel like you are alone in some ways, even in this relationship, which is a great one. That happens, right? And it's wonderful to have the support of somebody with you during the times like that when you go through that. I've never picked this one before. What number is it? It's number, let me put on my glasses and I'll tell you. I want to say 5. It's number 5. 5 is all about change and transformation, and sometimes it's uncomfortable and sometimes it's exciting and it, you know, gets our juices going and it's fiery and whatnot, but this one seems as though there was, once again, something predominant as far as something that really affected you. And I'm going to read to you what it says and send you love while I'm reading it. So, number 5. I have a whole story about my 5 life. I am a book, in fact, on all the different ways that the number 5 has affected my life. Okay, a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So this is like the 5 of Pentacles in the Tarot. It's that feeling we have, and I'm going to be honest with you. The highlighted aspect of Aquarius and Pisces. Pisces can have a feeling of all of that. They call it a victimized kind of feeling, like, oh my gosh, you know, it's wanting life to be so beautiful and realizing it really isn't can be detrimental to a lot of Pisces energy. And we're in Pisces season, so there's a part of each of us now that may turn to that part, like, am I really good enough? Am I that person that I thought I could be? And you know, we go through these times and they can be very small and short in measure, but they can also be ones that can be very hard on us. And it's something I want to profess and teach as much as I can, having lived and experienced that even through today, that we need to know that we have everything it takes. And we will have these times and we will get through them, every single one of them. We made it through last year. What more proof do you need? The Oracle message, we were all meant to have connections with other people, within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your code, truths, and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with the group or community the way you did before, and feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Now, this makes sense with everything that's going on. I love this card. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of the pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. So just in reference, I started this channel over a year ago on my birthday, and it was, I've been reading for forever, but I've never done it this way, and I'm still learning a lot, technically, but that's, you know, in addition to what I do, you know, as my business as a massage therapist, but I love it, and I don't want to stop, and I know I'm not a influencer, for heaven's sakes, that's clear, but I just want to be real and just express to you what I've been doing for so many years with spirit and the connection, and it feels right, and I kind of get these downloads and these wonderful hits that say, yes, if you're loving it and you're feeling it, do it, even if it's to 2 people. Be you, and you will find the tribe. You will find that connection. When you feel like, oh, nobody really gets me. Do you think I've not felt that way before? Well, I have, but you know, it is what it is, right? And I love this, and if that's something you might want to consider, you might be amazed at what kind of beautiful feeling you get because you're liking it if it's what you like. I was just putting it out there as a possibility for you. And to know you're not alone, we all tend to go through that. So hopefully that's a short-lived thing and you're going to recognize the absolute beauty of you and everybody for exactly who they are. The next oracle that I love for Aquarius and all your loved ones and your special love connections is the Motivation Manifesto deck. So it has a word or a sentence or, you know, a phrase that I think is so beautiful. It's very uplifting. These oracle divinations are meant to uplift you. Really having issues with that fourth chakra today, aren't I? The throat and opening up. Or something's happening and I'm picking up on something. But I'll be fine. So yeah, this is about just that inspiration. I love inspiration. I purposely look for it. I like to create it for myself. And that's what I hope this channel will do for you. Your message today is, we cannot timidly wait for everything to fall into our laps. We will receive only as we rise and march. And destiny turns its ear to those without fear. Yes and yes, because that's exactly the power of the Aquarian. I mean, they are innovators. They're like rebels. They're like, let's make a change. Let's think outside of the box. Let's be inventive. Let's be original. You know, let's not be, well, in a positive way, as opposed to all the earth elements, you know, that are very rigid in a lot of ways and confined and constricted, and they have a certain way of doing it and they don't want to think outside the box. That's not happening anymore. So revel in it and embrace it and know that that's exactly right. Things don't always fall on your laps. You do want to instigate it in some way, even if it's sitting at home and meditating, which will also instigate things. That has to occur though. So we'll finish off today with your super attractor manifestation message. Okay, this is the mantra and the affirmations I love. One just fell out for you. It's just feeling the life that we want into existence. And you know, many people watching this, I'm sure a lot of you understand this and have been doing it. I have, and I continue to work at it, but your special message with all the stars that represent you, Aquarius, is I let the universe catch up with my dreams. Right? Catch up. Because, you know, the retrograde slowed it down. Now it's time to catch up. And there's no stopping you. Beautiful, beautiful possibilities. Unlimited possibilities, right? You've got this. You've got what it takes. You are this energy. We all can work together. We all can absolutely support each other in our endeavors. And that's essential too. And that's what love is about. I just want to thank you again. If you want to support my channel and show me the love, you can just push the subscribe or the like, and definitely comment and share whatever you'd like to do. The notification bell will let you know when I upload because it's different every day, and I noticed again that the last couple of days it takes 6 hours to upload. Not sure why, but I'm here for you, and I appreciate you being here for me, and I love you, and I wish you an amazing rest of the day and month, not too much longer, and come back and we'll talk some more. Until then, bye for now.